Hey y'all, I am in a house in New Orleans. I am dog sitting for some friends this week, and I just had a remarkably beautiful, serendipitous small world experience that I want to share about. So, a friend of mine who lives here, who I know from my prior van life days years ago, she shared to her Instagram story about this craft night that was happening across town, and she wasn't going to be going, but thought it sounded interesting. And as the night rolled around, I decided to pack up my leather gear and take it with me and to work on my next jacket design. And it was like a 25-minute bike ride away. I get there like 10 minutes late, but it was a small crowd, just myself, the host, and like two other people. And I was there for maybe 5-10 minutes, getting to work on my craft. And the host looks at me and she's like, "Are you Nathan?" And I was like, yeah, I am. That's one of my names. I don't hear it that often these days, but yeah, have we met? She's like, "Yeah, I think we're connected on social media. Uh, Years ago, I think you came to an Easter party that I hosted." And yeah, sure enough, like back in 2017 or 2018, I was traveling through New Orleans by motorcycle. This was years before I would move here for a season. And a guy who I had hosted as a couch surfing guest several years before back in Greenville, South Carolina, who lived here in New Orleans. We'd connected and he had invited me to this party. And this woman had thrown this party. It was in someone's backyard and just good food and live music. And it was just a fun little shindig. And apparently we had connected on social media, but hadn't really interacted again since. But yeah, here she was hosting this craft night that once again I randomly show up at all these years later. And as we get to talking, we start to realize that we actually grew up in the same town outside of Atlanta, Georgia. We graduated from rival high schools. Um, and she was actually a regular at the chicken restaurant that I managed. And she worked at this pizza place that my family went to all the time. And she's a few years younger than me, but we are certain that we have been in the same place at the same time, like repeatedly. Um, and yeah, that alone was just really beautiful and serendipitous. Uh, but yeah, her shop is like this really funky, like vintage upcycled goods shop that also has like art stuff. And uh, yeah, I showed her some of my jacket designs, and when she gets back from a trip in a couple weeks, we're going to explore the possibility that I might be able to sell some of my jackets there on consignment. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful weave and just so unexpected. Uh, mm, yeah, just really, really delicious uh, set of circumstances. And yeah, I'm just so incredibly grateful. And yeah, to me, when things like this happen, it, yeah, it just feels like things are aligned. And I don't know if there's a right path or a wrong path, but it feels like it's a really delicious path for me. And I'm excited to see what else comes of my time here in New Orleans. Thanks for following. Talk more soon.